Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your food. My name is Jose Garcia. I am a Master of Ceremony here with Ruben Rezendiz. I'd like to start off by giving a big thank you to Lionel Blair, Talia Guerra Flores, Evan Macklin, Eric Mullen, the staff of Student Life and Conduct, for all the support and encouragement they've given us all year. It really means a lot to us. So again, a big thank you. I'd like to start off by saying, I hope you're enjoying your food. We're gonna go ahead and give you a quick overview. We'll have a opening remarks by Lionel Blair, the Director of Student Life and Conduct, where we'll move on then to having our dinner. After that, we'll have a student tribute video, which will lead into our keynote speaker, Eric Mullen, the Associate Dean of Enrollment Management and Financial Aid here at Grand Rapids Community College. And then we'll proceed on to awards and closing remarks by Dr. Lori Chesley. But with that, I'll let Ruben take the stage.
Thank you, Jose. Good evening, everyone. My name's Ruben Rezendiz, and I'm glad to see so many faces here. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's truly a good time. I'd also like to thank Nancy Neville, who isn't here at the moment, for providing us with the wonderful decor as she has the past few years for this event. It's always a good time, so give her a round of applause. If you notice at your tables, you'll see a variety of quotes that tie in to tonight's theme, which is Be the Change. And if you aren't able to tell from the name alone, that theme draws heavily from the timeless quote by Mahatma Gandhi, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." And that to me is one of the quotes that I hold near and dear to myself and try to employ in my life. I truly believe that everyone has the potential to make a great change, but it all starts with you and your decision to make that change. So I'll let that sink in your thoughts for a little bit. In the meantime, I'd like to present Lina Blair up to the podium so she may give her opening remarks. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. As Jose and Ruben said, I'm Lina Blair. I'm the Director of Student Life and Conduct. And just wanted to welcome you again to this event. It's my first time at this event, but I've heard that it is just an awesome evening to celebrate student success, all of the hard work that our students have put in this year, and also all of the hard work that our student organization advisors, our coaches, academic advisors, support staff, administration, that kind of thing, all of the time and effort that you guys have put in. Thank you for being here, but more importantly, thank you for being a part of our students' year this year. Over dinner, I'd love for you to take some time to reflect about the year and talk about our successes and think about the future. Reflect on the people who have come before us and what we can do to help preserve this tradition that we have here at GRCC of student involvement and student learning through that involvement. We'll get dinner started here in a couple seconds. And once we all get served our dinner, we will start the student tribute video that was put together by Class Quant and Lauren Kohler. Please join me in a round of applause for thanking them for putting that together tonight. Everybody enjoy your dinner, and we will get started with the program once we get to the video. Thanks so much for being here again.
I'm president of the Campus Activities Board.
I'm the president of Food for Thought.
I began as the vice president, and I
took the mantle of president.
My main club is WIN, which is Women's Issues Now, and I'm also part of the Botany Club, and also I've been a part of the Art Club as well.
I am involved in the BASU and also the WELL Group.
I've been involved in the Hispanic Student Organization, the Asian Student Union, and right now I'm in WIN.
Biodiversity Club and Biomed Club were the two that immediately standed out.
This year will be my first time being the president.
I am the vice president of the Student Gamers Association. Student Life is like a community of clubs that all get together and we create activities to keep students interested in actually coming to school still.
Food for Thought's kind of a relatively charitable club.
I like the in-depth research that we do.
We accomplished some great things.
We are having events like Cosplay Day.
The WELL Group is Women Empowering Leadership, which I love. And it's just all different women. So I get to learn more about other cultures as well as my culture. So.
We did a couple volunteering events with the mayor, like a mayor's tree planting event that happened last fall.
As part of ASU, mostly eat. We do a lot of eating.
We play video games.
The WELL Group has several different women on campus who work in different departments. So when we get together, there's a ton of knowledge that you wouldn't get just coming to school.
It empowers individuals to be a part of something, participate, make friendships. They can get to know instructors and other types of faculty members a lot more.
I just really like it when people join the club because we're doing feedback back and forth.
I learned that there are a lot more things that I like to do than I thought I did. I've been doing a lot better in school and I've been having a lot more fun in my own life.
It made me come to actually want to come to college.
When I make a decision on something, I'm more confident.
I'm able to do the things that I wished I could have done when I was younger. Because I'm a part of something that I'm proud of, I like to tell people.
I went from being super shy to being outgoing, having lots of fun, and now I'm vice president.
It actually got me out of my comfort zone, and I used to be really, really shy. I'm more out there, and I communicate with a lot of students and try to help them.
I just kind of took a chance with it. I decided to step out of my comfort zone, do something different, and it's been a really fun ride because I feel like that's something I never would have done in the past.
Anime Club has really showed me how to go and come out to others. There's no can't anymore.
I feel like I've become more open to talking to other individuals because I was a really closed person when I first went to GRCC. I didn't realize that I enjoyed helping others and my fellow clubmates and fellow classmates as much as I do.
It put me into different responsibilities and different roles that I have to keep track of and make sure that I tend to. So I guess it's taught me to be independent and plan and just try to involve everybody. So I think it's helped me growing as a leader, yeah.
In a club environment, you're so much closer with someone and you're really interacting personally with them and finding people that you truly really find things you have in common with, enjoy time with.
Help others, be out there and help with my community.
Just have fun with people who enjoy things like you.
Being a part of a club, it just brings life to your experience here at the college. Just explore, ask around, see what's out there.
Students should step out of their comfort zone. You just have to take that chance. And once you do, you'll find that, all these opportunities open up for you. You don't know what you can accomplish until you try. I'd like to introduce to you all our keynote speaker for the night, Mr. Eric Mullen. Eric Mullen currently serves as GRCC's Associate Dean for Enrollment Management. He has worked in higher education for 20 years and held previous director roles within student life at GRCC and Aquinas College. Currently, Eric is pursuing his doctorate in higher education leadership at Western Michigan University and holds a master's degree from Grand Valley State University and a bachelor's degree from Aquinas College. Eric has held a lifelong interest in leadership studies and has taught on the subject here at GRCC. Give it up for Eric Mullen.
Thank you, Ruben. Well, good evening, and thank you for the invitation. As Ruben shared with you, I spent a good portion of my career working in student life, working in student development. So it's very nice to come back and be amongst everybody. It's one of my favorite nights of the year to celebrate the amazing contributions that our students make as scholars, as athletes, as leaders in clubs and organizations, and through service here at GRCC and our broader community. I never got invited to do this when I was in student life. Mostly, I think all the student leaders were tired of just hearing me talk to them all the time. So now that I've been away for about 5 years, it was nice to have the invitation. So let's talk about our theme for tonight, Be the Change. When I first heard this theme, I probably thought about the Gandhi quote, and many of you probably thought of that too, which is, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I was, thank you. And I was kind of interested in this quote to learn a little bit more about it. I was familiar with it, but I didn't know the origin of it, when maybe Gandhi said it, what kind of context or relevance it had. And I was surprised to find out that he didn't actually say this. That there's a scholar from St. Lawrence University, a faculty member there, Brian Menton, who found out that he actually didn't make this quote, or not exactly this quote. He said many things that were relevant to this. And that it's likely that this quote was attributed to his grandson, I think it's Arun Gandhi. This is the actual quote, though, that Gandhi did make that I think has the direct connection to this idea of be the change you wish to see in the world. If you don't mind indulging me, I'm going to read it to you really quick. We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. This is the divine mystery supreme, a wonderful thing it is, and the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do. So that's Gandhi's quote. I think you can agree with me, though, which one makes a far superior bumper sticker. I'm going to go with the one on the left. But I think that this idea of be the change really captures the essence of that much larger quote. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit through those this evening. Now, when Ruben first approached me and told me this was the theme for tonight, I was really excited because my interest in leadership has been kind of lifelong. I had the opportunity to attend a leadership retreat when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was hooked. I was really interested in leadership, this dynamic of what it meant. And through my involvement with leadership, I've always tried to figure out, how do you define this? Because we see it all the time, we talk about it, but it's kind of hard to define. And when you think about the words that describe leadership, there are many, whether it's passion, success, driven, collaboration, teamwork, the descriptors go on and on. But for me, I think there's always been one element that I think is universal to leadership, and that is change. Now, one of the reasons why it's hard to describe and define leadership is because it's situational. It changes all the time. Leadership practices, leadership approaches need to be different, whether it's a fireman or a firewoman taking control of a situation, or someone as a CEO in a boardroom. Those are very different situations, and different types of leadership need to be presented to be successful in those environments. But I think if you ask me to distill down what is the core essence of leadership, it would be this: leadership equals positive change. So I was very excited about this theme tonight. And as I was reflecting on this quote, or the more distilled down essence of this, be the change, I felt like there's a lot of really key messages in this statement that you could apply right now to your lives, whether it's in the classroom, your employment, your future goals and objectives. And I want to share a couple of those with you. But before we get started, I think we got to talk about, well, actually, I want to share these first. These are the two things I really thought about as I reflected on this. Change must start from within. You can't ask others to do what you cannot. And the other thing I thought about when I was thinking about this be the change was acts of substantial change start small. Now, before we kind of launch into these two concepts, I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is this: change is hard. Change is not easy. So let me show this to you. If you can, stand up right now. Indulge me this. This won't be an icebreaker. I'm famous for icebreakers. It's not going to be an icebreaker. Yes. All right, so I want you to cross your arms, just naturally. Okay. Some of you are struggling with this. I won't bring up your name. And I want you to just kind of just notice, where are your arms right now? Is the right arm on top? Is the right arm on the bottom? Where are your hands at? Okay, so you notice where your arms are and everything. Okay, now I want you to do the exact reverse of that. Okay, go ahead and have a seat. So change is hard, right? Some of the emotions that people experience when they hear the word change are sometimes frustration or concern or fear, or that they might be helpless in that situation. And so I just asked you to do this simple exercise, right? To reverse the order of your arms. I won't pick anybody. I saw our dean of students, though. She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna, okay. And so what did you feel when I asked you to do that? What was it when you finally got your arms in that other position? Weird, awkward, unfamiliar, uncomfortable. So I didn't ask you to think about any real substantial change. That was just this idea of moving your arms around. So I think as a leader, you have to understand that change comes with sometimes a very negative initial response. And that's natural, and that's okay. And it's gonna be your responsibility to help move people through that to a more positive place. Are any of you familiar with the idea of the comfort zone? Okay, so some of you have heard this before. Okay. So I want to introduce this concept to you because I think it's a really good mindset tool to think about when you're responsible, you're in charge of helping people engage in a matter of change. So at the center of this kind of diagram here, we have your comfort zone. So what happens in your comfort zone? Your day-to-day things, the things that you're used to doing, the status quo. Does change happen in the comfort zone? Absolutely not. It's your job, it's your opportunity as a leader to move students, club members, team members, whoever it is that you're engaging with in their leadership role, to move them out of the comfort zone into what I would say is your learning and growth zone. And what defines this is an area where people get a chance to take risks. They're allowed to fail without penalty. They're encouraged to learn and try different things. Because when you have success in this area, what happens? You move your organization forward. You actually expand your comfort zone so you can take on more complex and challenging situations. Now, as your job is to help students negotiate, or students, your peers, others, negotiate between the comfort zone and the learning and growth zone, you also need to keep them out of the danger zone. And if you're from the 80s, you know this song. Is it Glenn Frey? Yeah, a couple nods from the older folks here. Thank you for helping me out with that one. I appreciate that. So the danger zone is where people's fears about change come true, that they experience failure and they're reprimanded for it. And when they're in those situations, they retreat back to their comfort zone and they put up walls, and they might even work against you to implement that change that you're trying to accomplish. So I just want to kind of share this concept with you as a way to think about how do I address some of those inherent fears that come along with promoting change. Okay, so change must start from within. You can't ask others to do what you cannot. And acts of substantial change start small. So let's talk about the first one and what I mean by this. So here's a little bit about communication. And I think that, I'm gonna go back to this statement here. Change must start from within. I think as leaders, one of the most powerful things that you have as a leader is that you are in a position of a role model, whether you think so or not. But if you're in a position of leadership, people look to you for advice, for feedback, for guidance, for direction. And in that role, you need to make sure that your message and your actions are congruent. So Ruben said he'd volunteer to do this, and I apologize in advance, but just imagine that I see Ruben next week, Tuesday, I run into the hall, and I say to Ruben, I want to give him some feedback about tonight's event that he helped coordinate. And I said this, Ruben, great job. Man, that was amazing, just incredible. So what did I tell Ruben? He did great. It was a wonderful job. What did Ruben hear, though? Nothing? You're awesome? You're being generous. What did my nonverbals, my tone, my body language tell him? I was just being nice. I didn't care. I wasn't being sincere. Right. So if you want to be someone who enacts positive change in your own life and the lives of others, the groups, the organizations, the workplaces that you belong to, there has to be congruence between what you say and what you do. And communication researchers have found that nonverbal communication oftentimes makes up anywhere between 70 to 90% of the actual messaging. And so if you expect people to do the hard work of change, to confront those very difficult situations, you have to make sure that you're willing to do that. You can't just say things and do differently. You will lose your trust, you will lose your integrity. As this infographic points out right here, that people remember after 3 days, 65% of what they observed, but they only remember 10 to 20% of what was said or read. So what you do as a leader has a huge impact on how people perceive you and the ability that you have to move organizations in positive directions. The second thing I just wanted to kind of have you consider is that acts of substantial change start small. They start small. So you look at this list of organizations here. What do they have in common? Logos, yes, thank you. Captain Obvious, no, I'm kidding. What do they have in common? Brands. Big, successful, right? These are huge, successful companies, the best in their disciplines for the most part. What else do they have in common? They all started in a garage. You are right. They all start, well, except for Ben and Jerry's, they started in a rundown gas station. This is where they started. But they had the best ice cream. No, this is very true. They all started in a garage. They started with an idea. They started with vision. And think about the amazing change that they've accomplished since then. And the thing I want you to think about this idea of be the change is that things start small, change takes time, and you have to have patience. Going back to that concept of the comfort zone, if you get a group of people together and you share your awesome vision with them of where you want to go, they're going to be fired up. They're going to hear what you have to say. They're going to hear the passion in your voice. But will they have the stamina, the ability to be on that long trajectory to get there? And so I want you to think about that comfort zone, about you creating situations where they get to play in that learning zone, take risks, not be chastised for doing something wrong, but make it a learning environment. Bring out the best of the people that you have around you. That's what these companies do. And the idea is that change starts small with you, and that over time, small victories, small wins lead up to huge outcomes, huge success. So I think there's a lot. I think this is a beguiling, simple statement, be the change. But the two things I wanted to share with you tonight were those ideas of, modeling the way, being congruent between what you say and what you expect of others and how you act, and that you are willing to make those hard sacrifices and those hard decisions to make change and modeling that for others. And the other is that things start small, but they add up over time. I really appreciate the invitation to be with you here tonight. This is, as I mentioned before, probably my second favorite the night of the year. How many of you are close to graduation? Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you all, hopefully, in a few weeks, walk across the stage for what is my favorite night of the year. And I have to say that one of the reasons why this is such a great night is because if anybody, who's our employees in the room right now? Okay. We're thankful for, go ahead, give them a round of applause. They're awesome. They're advisors, they're faculty. But we are very thankful to be here tonight because our passion is seeing you both define and realize your potential. And tonight we get a chance to pause and reflect on that. And you've already made a lot of great change within yourselves for committing to be a student and improving your being and moving forward. And obviously you've made a lot of great changes to our community. You've made it a more vibrant and rich student community. You've advanced learning. You've done a tremendous amount of work in our athletics through service learning. And so tonight is about you. And I just want to say thanks again for having me be a part of this tonight.
Just want to say, nice job, Eric. You did great. It was... No, but in all sincerity,
well done, Ruben.
Very wonderful. I enjoyed that.
Again, thank you, Eric, for being here with us. We really appreciate your words of wisdom. I'd like to go ahead and start off with our awards program. I'll ask that all presenters and award recipients come onto the stage from my left or your right, and come off the stage on my right or your left. First off, I'd like to introduce Dr. Bob Link from the Biological Sciences Department, who will be presenting the Outstanding Biology Student of the Year Award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Link, and I'm from biology, here to present the Outstanding Biology Student to Patrick Bainan. Patrick is a model student, okay? I had him in microbiology class, and he's that student that every professor wants, aces the test, raises good points in class, helps classmates, present every day. But, you know, I have to say, we really do have a lot of model students here at GRCC. Patrick is one of them. There are many. But there were a couple additional things that really stuck out to us in the biology department about Patrick. First, Patrick was not always a model student. I think it was his own words that said, yeah, I was not a serious student at one time, and I did some goofing around. And yes, there's a lot of A's on that transcript, but I think if you look down there, I think there's a D+, and maybe a couple W's, and even a no-show. Do we even give that grade anymore, yeah? Well, but Patrick did not let that be the last word. And he picked himself up and brushed himself off and got the motivation and developed the skills. And, you know, I think we have to come up with some new biology courses for him to ace, because he really sets the standard once he made the change. The other thing that strikes me about Patrick is that he is really sensitive to, aware of the needs of his fellow students, and he works to meet them. I saw this in microbiology lab at his lab table. Patrick sat there with two other students who didn't have the raw academic talent that he had, but he provided some leadership at the table, got some organization going. They all pitched in together, and I have to say, just looking at them, they actually had a lot of fun, and everyone did well. And now Patrick's a tutor in our Biology Learning Center, and he gets to, you know, help other students on a daily basis, and I'm told he really has a following, yeah? So Patrick will be continuing his education at Grand Valley in the Accelerated Nursing Program next year. Very competitive program. Congratulations to Patrick, and really that's a little feather in our cap as well to get some students into that program. So please join me in congratulating Patrick Bainan, our outstanding biology student.
Thank you, Bob Link. Next, we have the Physical Science Award. I'm glad to welcome Professor Amy Caderna to the stage, which will be presenting all of the 3 physical sciences student awards.
We have props.
I am Amy Caderna, Physical Science Department. I'm assisted here by Dr. Dan Grill, also a wonderful faculty member of our department. So here I am to give the Physical Science Students of the Year awards to these 3 wonderful students. Each of these students has an amazing background and a unique experience that kind of represents all of our GRCC students. So the first award I'm going to give is to Alex Antonakis, and that is for excellence in physics and astronomy. Alex, come on, step up. Alex was nominated by Dr. Jared Johnson for physics and Dr. Will Millar and Dr. Lauren Woosley for astronomy. So he's a double winner. Both have shared with me that Alex is a very dedicated student and excels in both physics and astronomy. He is described in the classroom as a very kind student who's always willing to help out his fellow students, but not give them the answer. So we really like that part. Okay. Alex came to GRCC undecided as to what career he wanted to pursue. He started out in mechanical design, but then he took calculus physics 2, and then it was all settled. He knew by being in that course where he wanted to go. Dr. Johnson really changed Alex's career and degree choice. He enjoyed the complexity of problem solving and learning new and detailed topics. Physics, along with his astronomy courses, set his path to decide he wants to go into astrophysics. After he leaves us at GRCC, Alex is going to U of M, where he's going to get a bachelor's in astrophysics and hopefully eventually a PhD. He would like to pursue teaching and or researching or all of the above. So I'd like to congratulate Alex Antonakis. Yeah, you get to say up, Alex.
We gave our appropriate GRCC bling, right? We have a blanket and a sweatshirt so you don't forget about us.
Yeah.
And we got to go with something geeky, right?
Yeah, and it's physics, so.
Density appropriate thermometer. There you are, sir. Stay right here.
There you go. All right. All right. Our next award is for Physical Science Student of the Year for Excellence in Geology, and that goes to Key Bachman. Congratulations, Key. Key comes to us from Devil's Lake area and first started out at Kendall. Then she decided on a whim to take a natural science course. I think we're doing pretty well. We're going 2 for 2 with bringing them in for our department. And with that, she knew where she wanted to go. She had moved from a town of 2,000 to this big city in Grand Rapids. She self-described as shy and wasn't really able to connect until she met the students at GRCC and the faculty at GRCC. She knew from then she was home. When she transferred, she went into an introductory geology class. She wasn't quite sure there until she had Professor Tari Maddox. And from there, Tari inspired a passion in geology that Key never knew she had. She was motivated to develop a deep understanding of all the concepts. She began to take more and more geology courses and ended up completing an independent research project with Professor Maddox. Her goal is to go to GVSU, where she plans to get her BS in geology. After her BS, Key plans on going to get her PhD in geology and work in the field. She's involved in the Biodiversity Club at GRCC. She also attends several GRCC greenhouse work days and helps pick up trash around campus and the city as part of the Mayor's Greening Initiative. She hopes to stay connected to this wonderful group, the faculty and the students at GRCC. I would like to congratulate Key Bachman for excellence in geology.
Same kind of bling. Plus,
geology.
Her geeky thing is a little magnifying glass. Every geologist probably has 1 or 2 on her person, so you can look at the small details of the rocks. There you are.
Our third award goes to Physical Science Student of the Year for Excellence in Chemistry to Michelle Brown. Congratulations, Michelle. Michelle was nominated by Dr. Dan Groh, who had said that Michelle always is engaged in class with positive attitude and contributes to discussions and isn't afraid to think outside the box. She encourages her classmates and fellow students and is always willing to help them unofficially before or after class, and then officially she works here as a tutor. Michelle is also interested and she's been engaged in department and volunteering activities, such as our Community Science Day. So Michelle comes to us as a non-traditional student from Traverse City. She moved to Grand Rapids about a year ago. Now, Michelle had struggled a lot in high school, had kind of a rough life, and ended up not graduating with a diploma. She ended up getting her GED instead. Because of that obstacle, she didn't go to college because she was worried she might not be a good student. In 2015, she decided it was her time to go to college. Another obstacle in her way was that she needed lower level math courses. She didn't let that stop her either. She pushed right through that barrier and took those non-credit math courses. At the time, she also lived in Big Rapids and didn't have a driver's license. Even without this, she took 3 online classes without a computer or a driver's license and made it to Ferris's library every day. Okay, she surprised herself by excelling in those courses. So she did get a driver's license, and with the help from special people in her life. She took a chemistry class here on GRCC's main campus. And again, that's when it clicked. Okay? It inspired her passion for knowledge and learning in her. Since then, she's taken a chemistry course every semester, and her goal, she's going to transfer to GVSU to get her bachelor's in chemistry. Michelle told me she's so grateful for the award because of the faculty and staff of GRCC helped her discover her love of learning and how to be academically successful. She is described as one special person in her life. Michelle is a living, breathing example of how hard work and determination, sprinkled with a large dose of kindness, can indeed change the world. I'd like to congratulate Michelle on her award. Congratulations to our Physical Science Student of the Year winners. Thank you.
And her Geeky Award is an Erlenmeyer mug. Who wouldn't love an Erlenmeyer mug?
Our next presenter is a professor at GRCC and the music department head, and someone who I personally have had the chance to get to know, Dr. Kevin Dobrev. He will be presenting the Emerging and Distinguished Music Academic Leadership Awards. Give it up.
Thank you, Ruben. It's great to see you. This evening, it's really an honor for me to once again represent the music department. I'm joined on stage by Dr. Deborah DeWitt, my colleague, who heads up the piano studies department and theory. She does double duty, and Dr. DeWitt will be helping us present the awards this evening. I have asked the nominees for these 2 prestigious awards to join us on stage. And since none of them are really tall, I figured that they could stand up in front of me. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you who these people are. The nominees for the Emerging Music Leadership Award, Mikola Bramsma, Annalise Sneller, Ashley Soy, Anna Veldkamp. Did I miss anyone? And the nominees for the Distinguished Music Leadership Award, Anna Liesma, Stacy McCarthy, Tyler Phillips. They're all with us this evening. Let's have a nice round of applause for them. I'd like to share with you the criteria that we judge for both of these awards. The Emerging Music Student Academic Leadership Award. This award is designed to recognize emerging student leaders in the music department. Nominees must have been involved with the music department for a minimum of 2 and no more than 3 semesters, while contributing to the music department as leaders. This award recognizes current initiatives and contributions as well as future potential. Nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must be active and involved in a major ensemble, such as the wind ensemble, or one of the choirs, or perhaps the orchestra, or the guitar ensemble. They contribute to the success of the ensemble in ways that exceed musical performance. They seek to assist and encourage other students in their musical growth. And they have distinguished themselves in academic performance, and they must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5. The distinguished music, no, I should stop there. And I will tell you who the award winner, I will tell you a little bit about the emerging award winner. This student is a voice major. She received one of the Albert P. Smith Vocal Music Scholarships this year. She was in my oral comprehension class and did very well, and it was a pleasure working with her. She also, along with being a voice major, has taken it upon herself to study jazz studies, and she is a saxophonist. So she plays the saxophone in our jazz ensemble, and she also sings with our combo, our jazz combo, as an emerging jazz vocalist. So I'd like you to please show your appreciation to Annalie Sneller. Congratulations, Annalie. I neglected to mention that Annalie has a 4-point. Yes. The criteria for the Distinguished Music Student Academic Leadership Award. This award is designed to recognize students with distinguished service or achievement that demonstrably benefits the music department at Grand Rapids Community College. Such distinguished service should be a pattern of exemplary service over the student's years at Grand Rapids Community College and exceed the normal duties of any positions he or she may hold, above and beyond the call of duty. I guess that was my language. Nominees should have at least 4 semesters or more of participation in a major ensemble. However, recording technology majors will meet this requirement with no less than 2 semesters. Nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must demonstrate passion for musical performance, be active and enrolled in any GRCC ensemble, have distinguished themselves showing leadership as a music librarian, a music tutor, lab monitor, or in service learning, and other possibilities not identified here. They must demonstrate intellectual curiosity and scholarship in the fields of music theory and musicology. They must have distinguished themselves in academic performance, and they must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5. Now let me tell you a little bit about the distinguished award winner this year. This student is another voice major, and this student is also a flautist. She's a very fine flutist, and she will be featured on Musical Moods this year with a group of other flutists. This student has received the very prestigious Schubert During Choral Scholarship, which actually pays for her most of her tuition for the winter semester. And by achieving that award, she also serves as the assistant director to the Schubert Male Chorus, being the only woman in the chorus this year. This student serves also as a very fine music theory tutor, and she works with our students over in the tutorial lab. She has a really good way to meet with these students and make them feel like it's a non-threatening situation, more of a peer-to-peer. So please give it up for Anna Liesma. Congratulations, Anna. Anna also has a 4-point. Congratulations to both of our award winners, and thank you all for being up here and representing the music department.
It's my pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Dr. Robert Hendershot, who will be presenting the awards for first, second, and third place winners of the social science research paper competition.
Well, hello. Yeah, my name's Robert Hendershot. I'm the chair of the Social Science Department's research paper competition, and I also teach world history. But yeah, tonight I'm here to present the first, second, and third place awards for the 2017 paper competition. This is something that we've been doing now for quite a few years, and the purpose of our social science research paper competition is to simultaneously inspire and to reward excellence. And in the social sciences, research papers allow us to do this unlike any other assignment. In the social sciences, there's a very prominent place for research papers in our curriculum, and this is for a very good reason. Such assignments do several things, right? But they expand the knowledge of our learners, and they help them to build essential skills. And the skill building is what we're rewarding here as much as anything else, right? Because to create a successful research paper, right, students have to have the skill, right, to formulate a worthy question, right, about our world that deserves scholarly attention, that deserves an answer. And then the students have to, have the ability to put in the hard work and the time and the creativity to create a research strategy, right, to consult a wide variety of sources. They have to have the ability to analyze data, to be able to synthesize lots of information, to enhance the skills of, writing, to craft an argument, right, to create a persuasive case, so as to take your analysis of the information and present it to an audience in written form, so as to persuade them that your interpretation of the data and the evidence is the correct one. Overall, research papers serve to deepen a student's knowledge on a particular topic or series of topics, as well as to allow them to enhance their skill, right, to be able to harness information, to craft an answer, a thesis that helps us to better understand our world and all of its people. These kinds of skills, right, the development of these kinds of skills enhances a student's marketability and performance in any career, right? In the social sciences, we teach history and political science and economics and geography and anthropology and so many other disciplines. But not all of our students are going to major in those topics. But indeed, the skills that they must build and enhance as part of the research paper process will serve them well no matter what professional field that they're going into. And it is because of their outstanding performance in all of these areas that we are honoring these winners tonight. There was once again a record number of excellent submissions, right, to this year's student research paper competition in my department. And the selection process, each of the committee members noted, was particularly difficult. So the winners here, I think, should feel very proud to have been chosen by the committee to be honored in this way. In addition to what I think are considerable bragging rights, right, that I ought to exercise, I think, in their other, classes across campus. Our winners are recognized with both a humble honorarium as well as a commemorative plaque, which, because of a small error right in the plaque making facility, they're not ready today, but they'll be ready, soon. Anyway, in honoring your papers in this way, we recognize and commend your achievements and your hard work, and we hope that these awards will inspire you to even higher accomplishment. This year for the 2017 Social Sciences Department Research Paper Competition, in third place, my department is honoring Stephanie Laguerre for her paper entitled Haiti, the Black Sheep of Hispaniola, which studies identity politics and the formation of racism in a historical perspective in both Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Stephanie. In second place, the Social Sciences Department would like to recognize Joseph Vorhorst for his paper right, titled Champion of Self-Interest, which analyzes U.S. foreign policy and its role in Central America, in particular Nicaragua. Congratulations, Jeff. And in first place for the 2017 research paper competition, we are honoring Luc Fortier for his paper titled The Evolution of Gender in Early Psychoanalysis. On behalf of the Social Sciences Department, I again offer my congratulations, and I ask all of you to join me once more, right, in our best wishes for all of these winners and their continued success. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to introduce the head men's basketball coach, Luke Bronkema, who will present the Male Athlete of the Year award.
I'm Coach Bronkema, and like you said, I'll be announcing the Male Athlete of the Year award. And I can truly say that it's been a real honor to have the privilege to coach him. Jeffrey Drake Todd, why don't you come up here? I'll say a few nice things about you. So I could bore you with all of his statistics. I'll throw a few out there. He had a 48-point game, followed up 2 games the week before, which he was awarded National Player of the Week. That was kind of the kickoff to Jeffrey's hot season, I guess you could say. We're going to leave it at that for all the compliments as far as the stats go. And now I'm going to share three areas of the season that are very memorable to me, and I think Jeff will probably look back and laugh at a couple of them. The first being the first 3 weeks of practice, in which Jeff was kicked out of practice 3 times. We would butt heads. He was super competitive, and I said, Jeff, you got to go. Come back tomorrow. And then we started to figure out that we can do it our way, and it doesn't have to be my way. It doesn't have to be his way. We're going to do it our way. And from then, things started to click a little bit better. Halfway through the season, we were having a rough patch. We were probably 3 games below 500. It was after a game, and I called Jeff in because I knew he would be honest, and I said, Jeff, how much harder can we push these guys before this thing just folds in? And Jeff looked at me and he said, Coach, you can push me as hard as you want, but some of these other guys, I think we better start to ease up a little bit. So from there on, we started a positive energy, basically just a motto, positive energy. Everything's positive. And we asked Jeff to be the leader for that, and he took that and ran with it. And from there, we really started to see progress for the rest of the season. And then the last thing that stood out was our game to make it to the Final Four. We're down 2 with 28 seconds, 4 a.m. the night before. Jeff's in the hotel room throwing up, can't keep anything down. He's got the stomach flu. I never asked him one time, hey, are you going to play tomorrow? Because I knew that he was going to be out there on the court. And it's that change that he instilled in the team that allowed us a 6th place finish at Nationals. We wouldn't have been able to do it without him. He is undecided right now, so if there's any scouts out there, feel free to talk to him afterwards. He's got several full-ride scholarship offers after his late season and national championship performances, and that's great to see, and he's going to be taking some visits coming up here shortly, and we should have an announcement where he wants to continue his future and get that bachelor's degree. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Next up, we have the head volleyball coach, Chip Will, who will present the Female Athlete Award.
Hello, my name is Chip Will. This is my 10th season as the Grand Rapids Community College women's volleyball coach here. We're a little bit different from an athletic standpoint that we actually go out and recruit the players to come into GRCC. So when I go out looking for players that we want to represent our school, we look for certain things. And being a top 10 program in the country year in and year out, we look for kids that have greatness inside of them. But not only greatness inside of them, kids that want to be a part of something where they have that opportunity to show that greatness, to be put into a special moment, to allow that greatness to shine or maybe fail, and that's okay. But we want the kids in our program that want that. So this year, our volleyball, how you make it to nationals is you have to win the regional championship. So you play all the other teams in Michigan. There's 18 teams in Michigan. So we're at Muskegon Community College playing. We play the best 3 out of 5. So you have to win 3 sets to make it. So we're down 0-2 on their home floor. They've got their pep band going crazy and can't hardly even hear the kids on the court. So loud in there. We come back, we win the next 2, get to the 5th set. In the 5th set, you only play to 15. So it's first team to 15, but you have to win by 2. So next thing you know, it's 10-10, 11-11, 12-12, 13-13, 14, back and forth, 14-14, 15-14. Our Donald Black Award winner gets to the front row. Finally, yes, here we go. Our best player coming to the front row. It's 19-18. Crowd's going crazy. 19-18, we're ready to go. We get a free ball, which is an easy pass over to us. Here we go, baby. We're going to West Virginia. We're going to the national championships. Perfect pass, perfect set. We're going to our outside hitter, Lauren. Here she goes, and goes about 30 feet long. It may or may not have hit the back wall. It was close. Okay, no big deal. It's 19-all. 19-all. She gets set again. Hits it a little bit long. 20-19 now. Now we're down. Now here's where real pressure comes in. Here's where those moments of all those hard work that you've kind of gone through, all those pressure situations that you've gone through as a leader and as an athlete, where your time is to step up. Setter looks at me and she goes, that's a look of, what do I do? Setter looks at me and I said, you know what? I said, setter again. I've been through some of the best times of Lauren's life and I've been through some of the worst times of Lauren's life, but I've been there with her together. We've been side by side through some of those moments. And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with my kid that I've seen fight through situations. I've seen be there for her teammates. I'm going to go with that kid that I recruited in that moment that I knew she wanted to be part of something special. So I said, set her again. Sure enough, she goes in, gets a kill. Rest is history. We win 22-20, win our 8th regional championship in 10 years, and go to the national title. Those are the type of kids that we want representing our school, those kids that have it inside of them to not only give of themselves, but to give of their teammates, to give of our school, to be the representation that we want stepping on the floor. Lauren was awarded All-American status this year. She's our 8th GRCC Raider to earn All-American status in my 10 years here. Couldn't be more proud. You know, as a coach, we don't do it for the money, we don't do it for the glory, but we do it to hopefully make a small impact as professors, as coaches, as organizers. We do it to hopefully make a small impact on these kids' lives. And sometimes you get those students, and those are the kids that are here in this room, that not only you make an impact on them, but they make an impact on you. And that's who Lauren is to me. She's made me a better coach. She's made me a better person. She's made me a better father, a better husband, and a better coach. So can't tell you how proud I am of this kid. We're going to miss her. She's going to go on and do some great things, but she's truly been one of the special Raiders to suit them up. And please welcome the Donald Black Award winner from Kenowa Hills, Lauren Weber.
Last but not least, we have the GRCC Athletic Director, William Fern, who will present the awards for Academic Athlete of the Year and the Gordon Hunsberger Award.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Fern. I'm the interim athletic director at GRCC. Our cross-country coach, for the person who would be announcing the next award, he is in Florida, sunny Florida. I'm a little jealous of him. He's with his family over spring break and his 3 young children. But he did have, he was nice enough, he sent on some words that I would like to read for you on this next young man's behalf. This is him speaking. When I took the job of starting up a brand new cross-country program in 2014, I immediately started looking for student athletes who would work harder than they have ever had in their lives, in the form of running up to 75 miles per week, not signing up for that anytime soon, and performing grueling workouts, not just during the 3 months of the official season, but also year-long. I also wanted students who would put team goals first and lift their teammates up mentally and emotionally, even if it meant potentially sacrificing personal accomplishments. Finally, I sought out students who had the self-discipline to balance academics, work, and family with the countless hours required to be a successful runner. Pretty unrealistic goals, I would imagine. But that brings me to Captain Kirk. And this was a name that was given to this young man by the team and by the coaches. And Kirk Dixon is a student athlete that embodies every single thing that was just described. He is the most coachable person I've ever coached in nearly 15 years of high school and collegiate coaching. He not only ran thousands of miles, literally, he inspired and encouraged his teammates and coaches and modeled the hard work, others before self style. And he did this all while maintaining nearly a perfect 4.0 GPA. Kirk Dixon was literally the perfect building block for a new program with big dreams and goals on the cross-country course as well as the course of life. In Kirk's sophomore season, he was named All-Region 12 First Team, All-MCCAA First Team, and helped the GRCC men's cross-country team to a second place All-Region finish and its first ever national appearance, where the Raiders finished 16th out of 40 schools. On behalf of GRCC, the coaches and current and future running Raiders, thank you for the example you set in your daily striving for excellence in every area of life. We wish you the best as your future as a Wolverine. Go blue, and wherever else life takes you. I have no doubt that you will make a world around you a better place. We'd like to give this to Kirk Dixon, the Merrill Store Athlete Academic Award. I got to do another one. All right. We have one more award for the athletic department. And this one is a major award. It's given to someone that embodies the athletic department, that embodies GRCC, and has given quite a bit of their life to the athletic department and to young men and women, building them up on the course or on the court or whatever field of play they're on, and also helping mentoring them in life in a crucial time of life that is college. So the Gordon Hunsberger Award is named after the former head football coach and athletic director Gordon Hunsberger. Hunsberger is a member of the National Junior College Athletic Association, Football Coaches Hall of Fame, and the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. He coached the GRCC football team for 28 years, beginning in 1956. He also served as the school's athletic director for 2 decades. The recipient is awarded this based on their substantial contributions to the athletic department over their lifetime. The 2017 Gordon Hunsberger Award recipient has done just that. For 19 seasons, he roamed the sidelines of Gordon Hunsberger Arena, coaching the men's basketball program and lifting them to high heights. During this time as a head coach, he impacted hundreds of young men, helping to guide them on and off the court, teaching them life lessons and helping them transfer to 4-year institutions to continue their education and basketball careers. He poured all of himself into his role as a coach and mentor to young men he encountered every day. As a coach, he amassed the overall record of 436 wins to 126 losses, for an average of 23 wins and 7 losses per year. Luke, you have a lot to live up to. He coached 38 all-conference players, and his teams won 9 MCCAA Western Conference championships. In 1995, he led his team to the NJCAA National Championship game when he lost a heartbreaker 64-63, which he probably still has nightmares about. He was named the National Community College Coach of the Year in 1995 and the MCAA Conference Coach of the Year in 95 and 98. I am honored to present the Gordon Hunsberger Lifetime Achievement Award to David Selman. He has a few words for us.
I'll be very brief. Billy, thank you. Thank you. I'm doing a good job as interim AD as well. I would like to introduce my wife, Robin. Robin, would you please stand? One thing I learned from Dr. Ender is always introduce your wife when she's present. He's not here tonight, is he? Okay. All right. Robin and I watch the award shows. Like to watch award shows, and we were sort of Googling people who have recipients who have received awards, and these people are they were very consistent. They were very consistent with people that received the Academy Awards, the Music Awards, Country Music Awards. Everybody that went to the podium, they didn't go to the podium and say, I have no one to thank but myself. I've done this all by myself. Nobody ever says that. So what do they say? I want to thank my manager, my mom, God, all these different people. So with that said, I have a lot of people to thank for all those wins and all those accomplishments. From assistant coaches that I've had, students, athletes, players, faculty, administrators, bosses, and I want to pause right there when I say bosses, supervisors. If you've ever supervised Dave Selman, would you please stand up? Lord. These are very tolerant people. But I want to say this, and I won't be long. I've received a lot of awards over 20 years, you probably would guess, with that kind of record. But this one ranks right up there. I mean, when Billy called me, I was just flattered. I want to say to the committee, thank you for selecting me. There's a lot of other people you could have selected, and you chose me. It means a lot to me. Leaders out there, student leaders, advisors, I want to leave you with 2 things. One, without commitment, you'll never begin anything. And without commitment, you'll never complete anything. Coaches, if I can do anything for you, I'm here for you. I mean that. May God bless you, and thanks a lot.
It's now time to introduce Assistant Professor Laura Kennett of the Exercise Science Department to the stage to present the Wellness Student of the Year as well as the Exercise Student of the Year award.
Good evening. So good to be here. We have two students we'd like to recognize, and one of them cannot be with us, but I wanted to give still acknowledge them. And so I'm going to ask Danielle Terpstra, an adjunct instructor who nominated the individual, to acknowledge him, and then we'll call our second student up.
All right. So it's a privilege for me to present the award that, Russell is not here tonight, unless he's surprising me. I don't see him coming up, but Russell Parker is a student who won Exercise Science of the Year award. Russell served in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2016. During that time, he earned the Army Good Conduct Medal for 3 years of exemplary conduct. He also earned 3 Army Achievement Medals for outstanding performance on job-related tasks, and was voted among his peers as instructor of the cycle at a medical simulation training center. Related to exercise science, Russell obtained his CPR and first aid certifications during the semester that he took Exercise 184 with me. Russell also registered for the NASM exam during the semester, and he successfully completed it shortly after the semester. During this time, he worked hard to land a job as a personal trainer at a local gym. The leadership skills that Russell demonstrated in the Army that I noted previously transferred to the classroom, where he showed outstanding professionalism and direction during group work. He showed humble leadership throughout the course. Russell stood out as a student always willing to go above and beyond in every way. He exceeded the standards set for each assignment in his Intro to Exercise Science course, and he demonstrated outstanding professional behavior in the classroom through his perfect attendance, as well as his actions and communication with other students and the instructor. He plans to attend GVSU to major in clinical exercise science with hopes of pursuing a career in exercise physiology. So, congrats to Russell.
Thank you, Danielle. The next student we'd like to invite to the stage, Sherry DeVries, come on up, Sherry, is being recognized as our Wellness Student of the Year. So I'm going to start with some of her accomplishments. She's actually achieved and received some professional certifications. Sherry was the lead student at Community Science Day, where she taught students about proper nutrition. She also served as one of the Exercise is Medicine student leaders on our committee planning events, as we are recognized as a Exercise is Medicine on campus organization. Sherry also earned her ACE Fitness personal training certification this year, and she was awarded a complimentary spot that she earned among students who can apply to receive professional certification, and has also gained a TRX suspension training certification as well. So some comments from Melanie Sheila-Gady, who nominated Sherry. She notes, Sherry has demonstrated leadership in the classroom by achieving all of the above noted accomplishments, but in addition, she serves to be extremely inspirational and motivational to her other students, displaying her passion for health, fitness, and general well-being. Sherry has had 7 surgeries, and through her obstacles, she's realized that she can still be mobile and well. She wants to continue her passion and share that with others to improve their lives and help them overcome similar obstacles. She truly works to empower others. Sherry has children, and she also wants to be a role model for them. She plans to transfer to Grand Valley State University, where she will earn a degree or pursue a degree in exercise science, health, fitness instruction. So please join me in acknowledging Sherry and her hard work as Wellness Student of the Year. Thank you.
To wrap up our department awards, I would like to invite Miss Nancy Forrest from the Math Department to come up and present the award for Outstanding Mathematics Student of the Year.
Good evening. This is the first year that the Mathematics Department has given an award, And we just cannot imagine anyone more deserving than Jeff Powers. Just to say just a few things, this is actually the second time that Jeff has been a student at GRCC. In the past, as a student, he worked in our math tutoring lab, highly regarded as a tutor. He, when he was done here, he transferred to Northern Michigan, and he got his bachelor's degree in biology. But we all know that I'm sure you shared my motto, or you might not voice it to everybody, but I'm sure you agree with me that math is cheap entertainment, right? And the math bug had Jeff. He is back at GRCC working as just an exemplary tutor in our math tutoring lab again and taking mathematics courses. Plans to continue on and get a math degree, get a graduate math degree, and very likely go into teaching mathematics, okay? Because he has found that the love of teaching is also part of what he does. And in his courses, his math courses, his excellent academic work combined with his creative thought, okay? All of the discipline that he exhibits as a student. In addition to that, on his nomination form by a professor, it was also stated that he's just a good guy, okay? So Jeff is the total package, okay, as far as we go through with that. And I got permission so I wouldn't be breaking any, federal laws about student privacy to share a grade that he got in Math 257, which is our differential equations and linear algebra combined course. On the first test, he got a perfect score, and Professor John Dersch said that's the perfect score that he has given on any Math 257 test in the 21st century. Okay? So, yeah, speaking high as far as that ability goes. Jeff is an extremely also dedicated math tutor, and on his own initiative, he creates and posts once a week in the math lab a flyer about Mathematician of the Week. Okay, so just as an example of what he does to try to add to the learning culture, okay, within our math family. So please join me in congratulating Jeff. In addition to a plaque, we have in here some light reading, okay, a 3-volume set of mathematical thought, okay, from ancient times to modern. So there's a lot of knowledge, pound for pound, in here. Thank you.
Now we'll enter into the last segment of the awards program, the Student Life Awards. And at this moment, I would also like to recognize the other 3 individuals who served on our awards committee. Kathy Novisky, who was unable to make it here tonight, Alliance of Professional Support Staff, and Kate Krieger, Assistant Professor in the Biological Sciences Department, and Giancarlo Hernandez, student and soon-to-be alum of GRCC. Thank you for taking the time to support our awards banquet. We wouldn't have been able to have this banquet without your support and assistance. We would like to ask that all the nominees, upon the calling of your name, come up here and receive a certificate from Thalia and remain standing there at the front until all the nominees are up here and we announce the winner. At this time, Giancarlo Hernandez will be presenting the Jerry Benham Award for staff and faculty. Giancarlo.
Hope you guys are all doing well this night. The Jerry Benham Award is given annually to a staff or faculty member who is actively supporting student involvement and student development and acts as a mentor or role model for student leadership development. These award winners are advocates for students, encouraging them to express and act on their thoughts and ideas. Will the following staff and faculty please come up to the stage and receive their certificate of nomination? And please, like Ruben said, just just hold your applause until everyone's up on the stage. Lina Blair. Are we waiting for, are you following directions? Or Victoria Powers, who is not here today. Barbara Bothelier, she's not also able to make it. That's probably the hardest name I've had to say. Simon Katat. Mandalina Montespirit. I know I saw you, Maggie, earlier. Tamber Bustance. Where you at, man? Oh, there's Kimberly DeVries. And Kaylee Wolf. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. This was a tough year for the committee to decide, so we actually have not just one, but two candidates that won the award. And it is going to be Kimberly DeVries and Tamber Bustance. You have to come up here. There's two. And again, can you guys give a round of applause for the nominees and the winners?
Again, congratulations to Tamara and Kimberly. Next up, I have the honor of introducing Brianna Castillo, the president-elect of Campus Activities Board, so that she may present the nominees for the Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award.
Hello, everyone. So the Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award is presented to a current student at Grand Rapids Community College who has been actively involved and has shown leadership in service and civic engagement initiatives. The student must also have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate? Bailey Cummings, who could not be here tonight, Kevin Curiel, and Monica Rivera. I guess they're not here. All right, and I would like to present this award to Bailey Cummings, who again is not here.
Thank you, Brianna. I will now ask David Stedman, GRCC student and office assistant in the Student Life Office, to come up and present the award for the Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award.
Well, hello everyone and good evening. The Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award is presented to a current GRCC student who demonstrates leadership skills throughout the community or college and must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Please also stay up here as we call the other nominees, and also audience, please hold your applause to the very end. Morgan Brown. Oh, not here. Shahan Godamun. Not here. Trizzy Tran. Eric Hernandez Morales. Danielle Millering. Bo Van Silkema. Jordan J. Isabel Vargas. And Guy Sweetblack. And please help me in congratulating these nominees. Technical difficulties. And the winner is Isabel Vargas. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Melanie Crespo, External Affairs Director for Student Alliance, to the stage to present the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award.
Thank you. This award is presented to a current student at GRCC who exemplifies the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. through community involvement and campus service, seeking to bring change and to promote the philosophy of Martin Luther King Jr. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination, please? Erendira Erazo Alas. Graham Sneezak. And again, please help me in congratulating these nominees. And I would like to present this award to Erendira Erazo Alas. Thank you.
Next, we'll have, I would like to invite Kaylee Wolf, graduate assistant for Student Life and Conduct, to the stage to present the last award of the afternoon, the Brian Cloet Campus Involvement Award.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great evening. And thank you, Jose. The Brian Cloet Campus Involvement Award is presented to students who are active and involved in student activities and campus life. These students have established a cross-college interest in campus life and community service. and have been helpful in promoting the overall college experience through outstanding citizenship. The student must also have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Marcus Barisi, who could not be here today, Chelsea Beckman, Bailey Cummings, who is also not here tonight, Don Hua, Cedric Ingram, Sharon Mooney, Malcolm Mucha, Ronnie Niyamoga, Arvinder Singh, Nancy Trubell, and Soila Lang. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. I would like to present the award for the Brian Cloet Campus Involvement to Chelsea Beckman. Chelsea here.
I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that's been able to attend. It means a lot to myself, Ruben, Talia, everyone involved in planning this event. I'm kind of just going off the books here, off the script, and just saying thank you so much. It means a lot.
All right, let's hear for all of our nominees and winners tonight. Now, at this moment, I'd like to ask the Provost, Dr. Lori Chesley, to come up and share some closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Isn't this a great evening? It is one of my favorites of the year. I was excited to get a call from Talia saying, "Lori, we'd like you to make some closing remarks for the evening." And then she said, "You know, take no more than 5 or 10 minutes." Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. But I just want to say, I'm an English teacher by training, and I could do that. But the truth is, after we've heard so many wonderful stories and we've had a great speech by Eric, there's not a whole lot more to say, just a few things that I want to mention. One of those is that this college could not run without a very dedicated group of leaders who we haven't acknowledged this evening, our Board of Trustees. And tonight we have with us one of our Board of Trustees members, Mrs. Cynthia Bristol. And Cynthia, would you please stand up and be recognized? It is indeed. Thank you. I also want to take a moment and particularly thank Lina Blair and Talia Guerra Flores for their leadership of our Student Life Office. I am so pleased that they are on board here at GRCC and that they're providing direction, guidance, mentoring, and all of their enthusiasm and affection to our students here at the college. Thank you very much, Lina and Talia. You know, all of us here have taken away some themes about leadership that have come through. And one of those themes is that leadership can really happen in any arena, in any discipline. There are intellectual leaders, there are athletic leaders, there are servant leaders, there are quiet leaders, more explosive, exuberant leaders. But we all have the capacity to be leaders in our own right and in our own way. And some of the qualities that I've seen exhibited here tonight, talked about and embodied, have been grit, hard work, intelligence, openness to change, enthusiasm, and persistence. And shout out some others for me. I'm not kidding. We're not leaving till you shout out a few. Compassion, camaraderie, dedication, progress, stick-to-itiveness. Analysis? Critical thinking, deep analysis. All right. Mindful thinking? Did I get that? All right, sorry, I'm having a little trouble with the hearing up here. Creativity. Woo! All right. Kindness, great. I know you were listening. That was a test. Okay. I'd like to just end with a couple of additional acknowledgments. I've noticed tonight that many of our award nominees and winners have brought with them family and friends. Would the family and friends of our nominees and award winners stand up, please? I know you're out there. Right on. That is exactly what I wanted to have happen. Thank you, because nobody makes it to this ceremony. Nobody gets a nomination or award without having a lot of support behind them from family, friends, coaches, faculty, support staff, all of you. Thank you very much for coming this evening, and thank you in particular to our students. You inspire us. You are the reason we come to work every day. And we love you and wish you great, great continued success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chesley. So this concludes our program for the evening, but we are offering free photography in the foyer out there. So please take advantage of that. Take some group photos, take some pictures with your friends, and have a great time.